what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Glue Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Cameron.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, how you been, Steve?
It's
been a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks. We're back now here for you beautiful people. We've it's been a busy couple of weeks. We've been away. But we're back briefly, sort of. We'll be back today as you're watching the podcast. Then we will once again be gone next Friday. Steven, unfortunately, will not be coming
I
to
will
Chicago.
not be in Chicago, unfortunately, folks. So give all your love to Cam.
Thanks.
Make sure you all go up to him and you harass him, even while he's on stream.
Perfect. Get me fired. Steve, you can feel free to come in and do the podcast. I'll give you the keys.
Sure.
And you can have the Steve show.
Yeah.
Talk about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we're just
going to
talk about the Final Fantasy 14.
You can tell everybody about the Kingdom Hearts story.
You all can come to Rafflesia and we can all just hang out. We can do it that way too.
You like raffles?
I'm on Rafflesia. That's I moved to my server.
I don't know what any of these.
I'm on Dynamis Rafflesia. You can come and visit me. If you want to come visit my house, I'm Ward 10, Plot 10.
So, this Grand Archive game, it's pretty neat. So we have Chicago coming up next week. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. There's not a ton of news to talk about, which is unfortunate in our 2 weeks away that we did not get showered with news. But we have a couple of Chicago things to talk about and a couple of cursed Solidar tweets to talk about, and then maybe we can talk about Chicago next week, as we will not be here. And so, how we feel about the game, the meta, the announcements, all these things ahead of Chicago. So, first things first. Before we start talking about Chicago, let's talk about Twitter.
Twitter.
As Steve, you said right before we started the show, is your favorite season.
Yeah. I'm super pumped. My favorite season is Cryptic Silidar season, is how I like to call it. It's when Silidar at 4 a.m. will just tweet out a tidbit number, and it makes no goddamn sense to us until it does, and then we all feel stupid about it.
I remember when Mr. Grey Wolf did these for MRC, and they were all like pretty reasonable. Right. It was like, there'll be a cycle of basic element cards at SR, that are like sentences you can parse. Yeah. And then there was the bird and the wolf
all run free,
are free to walk around or whatever. And my lord, we've gotten two A and B tidbits from Silidar, and they are just absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
Yeah, and they're fucking perfect.
So they're a lot harder. I think he's either trying to make our job difficult, or he doesn't want us to be talking about his tweets on the show, because my lord, there's just not a whole lot we can work with.
Doing what he did is not the way to make us not talk about his tweets.
Fair. Yeah.
Because surely the more cursed and cringe they are, the more we're going to talk about them.
So, Sildar, we'll put it up on the screen. We'll have our lovely editor put it up on the screen. Who was at Flesh and Blood Pro Tour today in Amsterdam, by the way.
Ooh,
so
good luck, Elise.
Wish her luck. He just tweeted a picture of some bales of hay, which I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. It's just a picture of some bales of hay. I think my favorite response to the bales of hay was from Ava, who says that it's a clear indication of a trusty steed buff, which I like quite a lot. But, so I don't know. I hope that one sort of makes sense. I want to see something and be
like,
that's what the bales of hay is about. But
I liked people commenting that it was a new keyword called baleful.
Baleful, yeah.
I thought that was clever.
Yeah, I saw that tweet about new keyword baleful, and that's when the stupid Elden Ring thing popped into my head.
Yeah.
So that's what I tweeted. But I don't know what is going on with the bales of hay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And then the second one is like not much better, and it's windmill engineer loves soup, which is also really stupid.
It's plural. It's windmill engineers love soup.
Sure. Yeah. All of the windmill engineers love soup. And to be fair,
I'm gonna
who doesn't?
I'm gonna assume
You're gonna soup.
There's gonna be a soup card. It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know
like
that
a
that's
soup.
true.
You put soup into play.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's some sort of this one I can like sort of pinpoint what he's getting at, I think.
Yeah.
And the reason he's chosen windmill engineer is because it's the most like prolific infuse card, right? So I assume it's some sort of like reclaim-esque effect, like a flicker effect, but that allows you to re-imbue. I'm not sure exactly what that would be, but something that allows you to re-imbue your windmill engineer is why they love soup. But he's knocking them out of the park for sure.
Yep. Definitely.
Bales of hay and
definitely interesting to think about.
Soup.
Yeah. Soup powered murder robots was also a tweet in there, and I liked that.
There's one more thing. Now, this is I don't know. Maybe this is spoilers. He maybe watches the show, so sorry, Sil. I hope you're not mad. Something that is very important that I recommend that you all do, and that you I know do, but I recommend that the rest of you do this as well. All right. Is have notifications on for Siladar's tweets.
100%. Always do that.
And so, one that really, really tilted me, and I sent him a message about it, and he did not respond to me. So that's how I know there's some spice going on. Is he made a tweet about Kongming, right? It was like something about Kongming. I don't remember the exact words. I wish I'd screenshotted it, but I assumed I was just going to look at the tweet. It was something about Kongming and wisdom. The word wisdom was used, and it was like a shitty meme chart that was like going up, sort of like the stonks emote going up. And then I clicked on it, and the tweet has been deleted. So I got no idea what that means, but we got but he wouldn't tell me. But I have a feeling it was too close to a real spoiler, so he got rid of it. That's what I think.
Yeah, someone's like, so delete that.
So get rid of that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was probably too close to a real spoiler. So I don't know. Maybe she's got wisdom, new mechanic. She's scaling champion like Merlin.
Can we talk about the real spoiler now? And how hot Kongming's sister is?
Yeah. It's
because
it's grim, dude.
I don't care about Kongming anymore.
Yeah, but we don't get to play as Kong's sister.
You don't know that.
That's true. I guess I don't know that.
You don't know that, and she has a cat.
That would be absurd.
She has a cat.
I would be
new tamer champion.
I don't. That's a bit of a stretch. But no way. I assume she'll be like a unique or something. A little squiggly, but it means now I gotta. I don't know. The appearance of additional
cute girls,
just like
it's tough.
Not good news.
Yeah,
it's like
tough.
In fact bad news.
Yeah.
So she's real cute though. She's got a cat. She's got that white hair. I know Shinja's in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a cat, and it just makes her infinitely better than Kongming until they post a picture of Kongming with a cat.
Yeah, maybe it's a family cat, bro.
Maybe it's a family cat, but it was siding with his sister.
It was a white cat too, right?
Yeah.
So matches her hair. Yeah. So those are our big old spoilers for AMB. We're I want to say we're coming up against it, but we're not. Not really.
We're still
it's like
a month away.
I wish it was a month away, Steven. It's like 2.5 months away.
Well, the full set, right?
Right. Like it comes out on October 11th. It's 10 weeks from now.
Yeah. So that means
11 weeks.
That means 9 weeks from now.
Sure. It's spoiler season.
Spoiler season.
So, Steven, as we talk about Ascent Chicago, it's impending. What do you think we're gonna get in Chicago at the end of Chicago? Get a little spoily.
I hope we get to see at least level 1 texts. That would be nice. I don't need the full line, but just
something.
Give me
something,
just
dude.
something, or give me like the premise of Exia, I guess. Like, let me know what that does. Show me cards. That's at the end of the day, I want to see cards.
I hope we'll see some cards. Something that we've been away from the podcast, so I always say the thing where I'm like, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I probably haven't because we've been away. Is Chicago? We don't have another event until Singapore, and Singapore is September 28th, which is like right when spoiler season starts. So like by that time, like assuredly there'll be spoilers in Singapore, right? But it's like a little bit too close to like start the hype cycle, right? Because spoiler season will assumingly be starting like that weekend. So this is their like last marquee event that they can like do the show us just a little bit thing. And so I think you're right. I think we'll see some champions. I sort of assumed it would be like the starter deck level 3s or something like they did with Tenoris for ALC, which will give us like a little bit of a taste of what Exia is doing and what Terra stuff Kong Ming's doing. But yeah, I'm with you. I just anything, man.
Just a little crumb.
So a morsel, please. Yeah, Kong Ming text would be great. I want to know what I have to buy before it's too late. I guess it'll be too late at that point.
All the mage stuff.
Yeah.
In foil.
Yeah.
Foil Terrasites probably.
Yeah, those aren't so bad. I'm not going to buy first eds because I'm not a psycho. So pick up some foil Terrasites. I gotta get those Flame Rune Swordsman promos. Foil, expensive. I'm gonna try to pick those up in Chicago. If you are coming to Chicago and you got some foil Flame Rune Swordsmans, let me know. I'll probably buy them and be sad about it. But yeah, hopeful to see some stuff. I was assuming, and you were as well, I think we said this last time we were on the show, that we were going to get the announcement of the Winter Ascent at Chicago.
That would also be nice.
But we got it yesterday.
Oh, did we?
We did, yeah. So Ascent Christchurch has been announced at the end of November, I think.
That's the New Zealand one.
New Zealand, yeah.
I thought we were getting... Wasn't there another one?
Is there another one? Is that the November one? And there's another one in December?
I thought we were supposed to get one for...
Let me pull up the schedule.
Because I thought it said undecided...
like
American
USA,
one.
right? Yeah, maybe you're right.
Because like I saw the New Zealand one and
I'm scrolling. You vamp.
I am vamping.
Vamp harder.
I'm
How about those airplane
How
foods?
about what airline are you flying to Chicago on? How cute is Kong Ming?
You're right. So we did get the announcement of Ascent Christchurch, which is in New Zealand. Congratulations to exactly Glenn and any other people that happen to be in New Zealand.
Well, there's a lot of people, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what they were. Glenn was saying. Like the scene exploded over there.
I'm just giving them a hard time,
It's the better of the places in Oceania.
That's true. No natural predators, I hear.
No natural predators. You can go Weta.
True.
That's all I would want to do
listen.
if I could make it there, which I 100% can't.
You know what I know about the team at Weebs of the Shore?
Yeah.
They hate money.
Yeah.
They love just spending money, for us instead of taking a paycheck.
Yeah.
So
it should be at Weta Workshop. That's where they should host it.
Listen, true. All I'm saying is that the competitors in Flesh and Blood partnered with Weta Workshop to make a prism statue, which is gorgeous. Arisana,
Why would you do that? Ari of all things. She's so bad.
Yeah, it would be like Merlin or something.
Yeah.
Cringe. Christchurch
and then
in November.
Devin would literally pass away.
Yeah,
because he can't.
He's
can't have
going
the
to die.
the Merlin statue.
So Christchurch is in November. You are right. We have not seen the December Ascent, so maybe we will see that at Chicago. I think that would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, it's coming up, and people need to plan travel.
Yeah, it's a Path of Silver event as well. The December one is going to be the Path of Silver for A and B, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because it'd be, like right after A and B comes out.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe we will still see that. I was assuming that we got bodied, but we didn't. I forgot about the Oceania one because I wasn't going, so it was totally off my radar. But yeah, exciting stuff next week. I will be there. Unfortunately, Steve will not. I'll be doing coverage. If you are going to be staying home and not in Chicago, make sure to watch coverage. I'll be there.
I will be watching coverage. But also, I think the next event I'm aiming for is Toronto.
Toronto.
And that wholly depends on if my passport gets in time, which I need to do.
Yeah, I haven't done mine either, so gotta do that. That is as soon as I get back from Chicago. That is the top of my list.
Yeah, I am probably going to do that this weekend.
Yeah, I think that should be fine.
Yeah, so
go on down.
I will be up in Toronto for that.
Toronto.
And
drivable, that Toronto.
Drivable. It's a long drive though.
It's true.
It's like 6 hours. So,
in other Ascent Chicago news, they have increased the prize pool from $10,000 to $15,000, and they have increased the tournament capacity from 256 up to 400. Which is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Means they sold out of tickets, which is great. I think this is now every Ascent in the U.S. that they have increased the prize pool by 50% and increased the tournament capacity. Even Worlds being a 3v3 event was still the largest U.S. Ascent, and every Ascent in the U.S. has been bigger than the last, so I would be not surprised to see Chicago go that same way and be close to that 400-person cap, which is pretty crazy. So
it just shows like how fast this game is increasing in just this year alone. Like we saw like an exponential boost to player base through like the ALC season, but like since MRC has come out, it's just been like astronomical, the amount of people that have just been joining this game.
So we are very excited, and it's great that Weebs is supporting the community, increasing the prize pool, increasing the tournament capacity is great, so that everybody that wants to go can go. Yep, which is good. All right, listen.
You talking about the girl now?
Yeah. Listen, we try to keep Lineage Frig a pretty positive place.
Yes.
We're all about positivity. And sometimes, we can be a little bit critical of weebs or whatever. We try to keep things positive.
Right.
However, something we need to talk about.
Oh.
So, Ascent Chicago will be the first event where you can get your very own Vera, Spirit of Fire. Gorgeous. We love her. Our second Spirit of Fire, which is exciting. So, first time we've seen the cycle completed. I need you all to do me a favor. Anybody who's watching the show, anybody who watches the show after the fact. This beautiful piece of art is done by our very own Hanchu. You guys know her. You love her. She does all sorts of art for the game. I believe this now completes her saga of doing literally every prize card for this season. So there was some like real negativity going on in the main chord, which I don't want to like dwell on too much, but that sucks, Yeah. And you hate to see it, and I don't want that sort of energy to be in our community. So what you can all do for me, do us a favor if you're watching the show. If you watch the show at any point ever, doesn't matter. Go find Han on Twitter. I think she's at Han, HANH_R_A on Twitter. But you probably can just type in Hanchu, you'll find her. And, tell her how much you like her art and how much you like Vera, because we don't support our artists enough, and they put way too much time into, creating these pieces of art for us, and
Yeah, and
least we can do is show some appreciation.
It really sucks to see the community talk so negatively all the time about stuff. It just you got to remember that our community is still small, so everything you say, everyone sees.
Right.
And there's people that are behind this. It's not just like nameless, faceless people. Like, you're not talking about an artist in a corporation behind something.
Mm-hmm.
Han's in our community.
Right.
She comes to like all the events.
Mm-hmm.
And like to say such shitty things about beautiful art, like the art is beautiful. To say such shitty things is like, it's really disheartening, and it kind of upsets me, like, just completely. Like, just because it's not your cup of tea doesn't mean you have to disparage on it.
I couldn't agree more. Do better,
Yeah.
Our community is good, and sometimes there are some things that we don't like, and this is one of them. So do better. But yeah, go send your love to Han. She does great work, and I am the only upsetting thing that I have to say about Vera is that I know I'll never have one.
Correct. I literally, because they didn't fully reveal Vera's art, but in the post before
they like her face.
They showed like the zoomed in of her face when they announced that they increased the cap and the prize pool. And I literally screenshot it and I sent it to our group chat and I was like, question mark, is this Vera? Mm-hmm. And then like an hour and a half later, they posted the full picture and I was like, God damn.
Woo, baby. She's a good one.
Yeah. Kind of weird that they didn't wait till like February to release that, because it's like hearts and stuff.
Oh, it's like sort of Valentine-y. Yeah. She's she's a very noble looking woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that I like Gwendolyn a lot too, but I'm not like typically a fire player, but I think my favorite spirits are the fire ones. I really like Aethne as well.
I really like Gwendolyn.
Yeah, Gwendolyn and her wet grippers are pretty good too.
I'm a big Gwendolyn fan.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations to anybody in Chicago who wins their Vera. Yeah. And it's gonna be it's like gonna be a while before we see Vera again. We have Christchurch coming up in November, like we said, but that's it's only the second Oceania Ascent, right? So like they're getting Gwendolyn at that event. They're like so far behind.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, because everybody follows the same cycle. So,
okay.
And they said in an interview a while ago that like after a while they're gonna get really desynced, and they're already really desynced. So like Christchurch will be Gwendolyn, and then they'll have Sabrina, and then they'll have Vera. So we're ahead of the curve, but this will be your only chance to get Vera for at least like 6 months. Probably.
Does that mean that Europe's first ascent is Aethne?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of wild.
Or that one's sort of up in the air. I don't know if they're gonna go that far back, because it was gonna be SEA, Oceania, and NA that were on this cycle, and I assume Europe will be as well, but maybe they hadn't planned that like 18 months ago, so maybe like Europe will start with Vera. We don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we're supposed to follow the same cycle together. Like every region is supposed to see every spirit, so that like people can't travel the world, and if you live in Australia or New Zealand, it sucks if you're like, man, I really want Sabrina, but I can't make it to Worlds.
That means their December Ascent is the wind one.
Yeah, December Ascent will be a new wind girl. Yeah.
Ooh, boy, I gotta try hard for that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of them, a lot of those girls around. Man, it's super cool. I'm a big fan of. I think a lot of people were like, oh, are they gonna do serene spirits? And now we have like fragmented spirits, and I assume in HVN we'll get another UR spirit. But I'm like sort of glad that it's always going to be, or at least for the foreseeable future, is always going to be the basic elements. And I wish that I was Caben and could like have the full collection of them, because it would be so sick. But never. I don't think I'll ever have one, let alone a full collection of them. You clip that when I win Worlds in 10 years or something. But.
Yeah. Or 50 years older. Like, look at my cute anime girl.
I did it. In my grave. Yeah. With my walker on the way back to the old folks home. So, that's like basically all of our Ascent Chicago stuff.
Yeah.
We're very excited. We got the announcement of Kongming and Jin sleeves as well. I'm staring at it right now, so I'll mention it in passing. Not much of a surprise.
So I would love to see full shelves of Jin sleeves still on the shelf. Very similar to how Tenoris is still on the shelf.
We're finally sold out of Tenoris here.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see the full shelf of Jin sleeves and Cam's 17 cases of Kongming sleeves.
Yeah, I sort of regret not doing it when the Ari sleeves came out, because like what I do for Flesh and Blood is, yeah, I kind of have a bone to pick with Dragon Shield. All right, I'm gonna hurt our chance at a sponsorship right now. Dragon Shield, I love you. They're actually they're super nice. They like send us stuff all the time. I think I talked about it on the show, but they sent us a bottle of non-alcoholic champagne for their 25th anniversary. It was very nice. Thank you, Dragon Shield. I appreciate it. However, what I do for Flesh and Blood is they put out Dash Inventor Extraordinaire sleeves a while ago.
Yep.
And I bought like 1,000 of them. And I sleeve all of my decks in the same sleeves because I only play one class. And so like all of the cards are shared between 4 decks. And so I just like move them around because they're in the same sleeves. But those have been like splitting like crazy, which is like not normally my experience, especially with the art Dragon Shield sleeves. They're like usually pretty good. And I don't know if I just like happen to get a bad batch because the quality control on Dragon Shield is a little bit tough. But I do regret not doing that with Ari. I only bought like a pack or 2 of Ari sleeves, and I think it would be much easier for me if all of my bullshit was sleeved in the same sleeve, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, I kind of wish. Can you buy Tristan sleeves outside of the Recollections?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm gonna have to buy some of those.
Yeah, I didn't order any because everybody like had so many of them. But if you need some, let me know.
Okay, I might want some more boxes just so because like I still have like 1.5 or like half a box, and then one
and then a full
that
one.
I haven't opened yet.
Yeah,
but I might want more.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think you're right. I'm probably just gonna like buy a case of Kongming sleeves and sleeve everything in the cute girl as you do. So before we get too far off, we're coming around towards the end of the season. We have Chicago, we have some regionals following that, and then of course we have Singapore to close the MRC season.
Mm-hmm.
But we had been gone for a couple of weeks, and I didn't exactly have a topic for today, but we have enough to talk about. But I was like, oh, maybe we'll do our retrospective for MRC. But I think we'll save that until after Chicago so that we have, sort of a bookend. But we are deep enough into the season that we have a pretty good indication of what the meta looks like.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what we think is going to happen at Chicago. Is the format like still new enough that we think there's going to be some breakout deck that we don't expect? We've had, at least out over the past couple of weeks, there's been a real surge in the success of the Nico deck, which did not see a whole lot of success at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I was... every major event that's come out, she's done better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually flabbergasted.
Yeah.
On how well she's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's sick. I'm really glad that one of the
Lineage break champions is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, you can't be putting down Polcock. All right.
Yeah.
They just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The super telegraphed, I'm going to kill you next turn.
No. Calamity Cannon's a meme card. But Polcock, he goes kind of crazy.
Does he?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. It's great to see Nico doing so well. I think she's a really interesting deck. She's sort of like the evolution of the Water Allies deck, where she is still playing a lot of those water control tools, but she has a much more reliable and faster clock.
Yeah.
Which is like pretty cool.
She's very indicative of the Water Tony deck that I played in Nationals.
Yeah.
Where you have all the control pieces, but you're just slamming at the end of the day.
Right.
And you're not using heavy slam anymore. You're using Icebound Slam, and that does a lot more damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see that she's doing well. But that is something that I don't think that I necessarily would have predicted that Nico does so well. Of course, we saw her make a appearance at Ascent Taipei.
Yep.
But it was 1, and it was in 11th place.
Yep, 11th.
So like 1 in the top 32 and not cracking the top 8. I think a lot of people were not expecting that deck to do as well as it has been lately, and I'm not sure if that's just a meta choice. It is definitely good into certain facets of the meta. It's got a pretty good Tristan matchup. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily super favored, but it's a very playable matchup. It's got a nigh unlosable allies matchup.
Yeah, and
they play so many defensive tools.
Yeah, and I think it's super favored into Merlin.
Sure.
If if you slam them twice, you're pretty much game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even need you. You just Icebound slam them once, then Ravaging Finale them, and Merlin loses.
Yeah, it's nice that it's a water deck that has access to that sort of fast clock. Yeah, you said it's typically been water's problem, and we see, the water allies decks of yore were a lot of normal cards, and you're playing water to play Frostbind, but you're basically just playing an allies deck like any other allies deck. Yeah. But Nico is the first in quite a while that is a pure water deck that still has a bit of an aggressive slant to it when it needs to. So.
Yeah. I think the only deck that has been underrepresented that I think probably could stand a chance into the meta is the Wind Luxem deck. I've seen it a few times doing well. Deck's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does sort of come over the top with some of those more controlling strategies. Tristan, Merlin, stuff like that. It allows you to grind them out. I've also seen a distinct lack of Sylvie in the past couple of weeks, and I'm not sure. It's hard when we have regional representation, right? Because regional representation, we usually don't have all the numbers. We usually just get the top 8. Which is not indicative of the rest of the tournament, right? We ran our regionals. Thank you, everybody, for coming who came to our regionals a couple of weeks ago. And it was 42 players, but of course you only see the top 8, right? So there's a world where there's 34 Sylvie players in the room, and none of them make top 8.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it's a representation issue, but we haven't seen a lot of her cracking top 8s lately, and so I wonder if that is her being unfavorable into what the current meta spread is, or what I sort of assume is a lot of the more talented players have moved away from Sylvia. She's sort of a very linear deck.
Yeah,
doesn't allow for a lot of expression.
Very, very much like a red deck wins, right?
Right. Yeah, you do the thing, and if the thing is good enough, you win. And if it's not, you lose. So she does lose some of that that nuance, I think, and so that might be why some people have stepped away from it. But if I was a betting man at Ascent Chicago, which will be, a 300, 400 person event, I would assume we'll see a lot of Recollection, Tribal, Tristan, Sylvie. Those decks are both very strong, and almost Sylvie more so than Tristan, but almost out of the box are they very strong. Tristan does need a lot of pieces to get her up to current par. But I would expect to see a lot of those. I would expect to see a lot of Nico. And I'm curious if there is a lot of Wind allies as well. I'm curious if there is a dark horse that people aren't seeing that is going to make an appearance.
The Wind allies, the Rain deck, the Automaton deck?
Yeah, whoever you want to play it in. Some people play it in Tony, Lorraine, whatever.
I think that deck's probably pretty good too.
Wind dudes, pretty good.
Yeah. But
Windmill engineers and their love of soup.
Yep. I don't know if there's a deck that has not been found yet, though.
Right. Yeah, it's always hard to say, right? Because I could have said that 4 weeks ago, and then Nico's made this huge resurgence, and so maybe it's a deck that's existed that just sort of crops up out of nowhere. We've seen a little bit of Water Diana this season making a reappearance. Maybe Diana, maybe Rye, maybe one of these decks that sort of sits on the fringes.
Right.
Could have a big showing. But I would not be surprised to see lots of.
I will tell you this: it won't be Arisana.
Yeah, I was promised by True Champion Gaming, Caben, one of our most talented players in the game, that there is no Arisana deck, and if there was an Arisana deck, he would tell me. So I appreciate that.
And then he wins Ascent with Arisana.
What is it worth to you, Caven? Because he lose a friend forever, and if that's worth it, hey, you go for it. But no, I'm very very confident there's no Arisana deck that'll be making waves. If you out there are taking Arisana to Ascent Chicago, make sure to come see me so I can give you a big kiss on the forehead and wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, you will get the Cam blessing.
Yeah. I'll request to put you on stream, and you'll embarrass yourself forever. Yeah, I don't know. I hope there's something spicy hiding in the wings. I think the meta is a little bit more diverse than it seemed at first, which is nice. I have said, and I'm not, I don't want to lie to you guys. I have said, and I said so on Twitter, that I'm glad that I'm not really playing this season, because it does seem like a meta I don't think I would particularly enjoy. But I think it is a little bit more diverse than we had first thought when MRC dropped. So I'm glad to see some decks finding some success, and there being a pretty even spread. I'm actually quite impressed with the element spread as well. Has really widened a lot more.
Yeah.
Fire has long held the crown, and we're now at the point where fire is like almost always the least represented element. Yeah. So there's not a super competitive fire deck available right now, unless you're playing like Philo or Fire Rain.
Yep.
Fire Rain, Fire Eye. So that part is nice, and I hope we see a nice diverse meta at Chicago. But I assume we'll see a lot of Tristans, a lot of Sylvies, a lot of Nikos. People like to, choose the decks that are winning, right?
Right.
And you can't blame them for it. But hopefully there's some cursed innovator out there that finds the Polcock deck that's the solution to the format or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he just Calamity Cannon.
Calamity Cannon Polcock, man.
He's like, I'm on Calamity Cannon. I hope you have a response. Oh, you don't? You're dead.
Calamity Cannon is basically Shadow Strike.
Yeah.
I know, they're basically the same card.
Yeah. I Shadow Strike Cam a couple weeks ago, and he arcane shielded me, and I felt real dumb.
Dude, I don't remember if it was I think it was at locals and not at the regional, but Tex, one of our local players who plays Tristan, also top 8 at our regional. Congratulations to you, Tex. He Shadow Strike somebody for 48 the other day. It was ridiculous. I was like, what is this? What game are we playing? He attacked him for 48. Unblockable. He had 44 prep.
Yeah, he gets up there.
It's like, Jesus Christ. That's the part of the format I'm not loving so much.
What?
Unblockable is not a great line of text. Korhazi Outlook is not a great card. I'm fingers crossed hopeful that we see that card leave after Chicago. So,
I don't agree with that statement.
Yeah?
No. And that's not from me being a Win Tristan player. I just don't think Korhazi out. It's not. I don't think it's a problem card.
You don't think removing interaction is problematic?
Nope.
People don't get to interact with you, and you get to win the game unequivocally.
Yeah, sure. Cool. I think that's fine.
We can agree to disagree.
Yep.
I think interaction's good.
I think that there's so many cards in the meta that make the game unfun. Vanish from sight. I think those cards are just as bad as Korhazi Outlook. So if you're going to say remove Korhazi Outlook, remove those cards too.
Well, then it's the same problem, right? Like you can't remove interaction and say if you leave the if we get rid of the card that removes interaction, we should remove all the interaction from the game, right?
Right. I think Turbo Fog is just as bad as not being able to respond. It's just in a different way.
Well, we're gonna agree to disagree on that one, but we'll see. I think we have our ban list is the Monday after Chicago, so maybe there's some Polcock deck that's 8 of the top 8, and they have to ban Calamity Cannon because it's too oppressive.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. We know that, but I think that ban list we're supposed to get Proxy's Vault card?
I don't know, man. I thought it was supposed to be the last one, and it wasn't. So
he said soon.
He did say soon, but like I don't know.
Soon is next year. Like I don't know.
Who knows? Taking everything the man says for gospel. Maybe he forgot. I don't know. He's like, oh yeah, I was gonna put that out. It's like the sideboard changes. You know, he's like, oh right, I forgot about those. Maybe forgot about the Proxy's Vault card. Who knows? Where is it? Hopefully it's a cleric card. All right, ladies and gents. I think that's all we have. We will not. Well, we'll not be here next week. Steve, you're more than welcome to run the Steve show. I'll give you all the power.
I will not run the Steve show.
You can run the Steve solo show.
I'm going to be immersed.
Yep, I know how it be.
Savage comes out next week.
You're a savage.
Real glad that I'm not going to Chicago so I can keep up current in Final Fantasy. That's not true. I really wish I was going.
Yeah. But we will miss you. Everybody, send your hearts to Steve. But we'll see you in Toronto. And all the other nonsense. I don't know. We'll see where December is, right? Ascent Worcester.
Ascent Worcester.
Easy peasy.
Y'all can come over
in
for
December. Jesus
cookout
Christ.
in my backyard.
You heard it here first. it's confirmed.
No one's allowed to go in the house, though.
So we will not see you next week, but we should be back the week after that to discuss all of the things that happen at Chicago and the announcements and hopefully the text of our new heroes. Our 4 new heroes, of course. Scopium, you know. But we'll see.
Surely there's a
Kong
hero.
sister.
Surely there's a hero we haven't seen yet.
Kong sister.
There's no way we're getting a full set with just 2 heroes.
Yep, I think that's reasonable. But you guys can go check out our dissection of the product sheet where we talk all about who we think those other heroes are going to be. All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Have a good one, guys.
Woo.